Here's a strange truth. The most important factor in whether a city succeeds isn't money or laws or even leadership. It's trust. And trust is invisible. You don't notice it when it's strong, but you feel its absence in every pothole, every argument, and every delay. There are 5 kinds of trust that matter most in city government: competence, integrity, fairness, transparency, and responsiveness. But there's also something that's harder to see. What do we make of silence? Like when a community is quiet, what does it mean? Are people confident? Does it mean that they've given up? Or does it mean that they've just never been engaged at all? Competence trust asks the question, can you actually get the job done and do it well? Think about hiring a handyman. If you ask him to build a project and he shows up late, leaves a mess, and struggles with tools, you don't just lose trust in his punctuality, you lose trust in his ability. And if the final product is sloppy, that poor workmanship itself becomes a source of distrust. Cities are no different. When competence trust is weak in the city, you see it in roads patched in the spring that crumble again by fall. You see it in older neighborhoods where infrastructure deteriorates year after year unanswered, and residents stop reporting problems because they don't believe anything will change. But when competence trust is strong, the opposite happens. Projects finish on time and under budget. People are more willing to support bonds and initiatives because they believe the money will be used wisely. And businesses will start to invest in the community because they see the city can keep up with the growth. So how do you build competence trust? You build it by delivering. Citizens need to see that promises translate into results. That means publishing clear timelines, doing quality work, celebrating the projects that happen on time, and being honest about what it is we can and can't do. Integrity trust asks, do you believe city leaders put the public good above personal gain? Think about a basketball game. If you believe the referee is biased from the beginning, the whole game feels rigged. Whether the calls are correct or not, your perception of the bias poisons the outcome. When integrity trust is weak, rumors spread in the city. People whisper about insider deals, they suspect favoritism in zoning or permitting. They see decisions like funding a new police station without a public bond vote and wonder if the process was designed to avoid accountability. Even if the decision was legal or good, the perception of sidestepping the people erodes trust. But when integrity trust is strong in the community, people may not always agree with the decisions, but at least they believe the leaders acted ethically. They believe the motives were clean, the conflicts are disclosed, and all the rules apply equally for everyone. That belief is powerful. It makes disagreements constructive instead of destructive. So how do you build that integrity trust? The solution is ethics. Leaders must hold themselves accountable to a higher standard, disclosing conflicts of interest, avoiding shortcuts, and making decisions that serve the community as a whole, not themselves. Ethics is what turns suspicion into respect. Procedural fairness trust asks, do you believe the process is fair, even if you don't win? Think about playing a game with a child. As you play, the child invents new rules that always somehow benefit them. That's what it can feel like when the city processes don't seem fair. Residents feel suspicious of zoning changes, they criticize engagement processes that feel designed for a narrow group, or when hearings are dominated by a small circle of well-connected voices, leaving others feeling shut out. But when procedural trust is strong in the community, even those who don't get their way still respect the outcome. Decisions get made faster, there's broader support by the community, fewer lawsuits and appeals. People say, I didn't win this time, but I was heard and I'll try again. That's the essence of democracy. And here's the paradox. Fairness doesn't guarantee happiness. People can walk away disappointed in the result, but still satisfied with the process. That's the mark of a healthy civic culture. So how do you build procedural fairness trust? You build it with consistency. People need to know that the rules are always fair for everyone. That means standardizing timelines and setting clear parameters for engagement, ensuring every neighborhood has a fair shot at being heard, and also having very neutral facilitators. Consistency is what makes people believe that the process is worth participating in. Transparency trust asks, do you believe you're being told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Think about taking your car to two mechanics. One tells you you need new parts but won't show you the old ones, and he won't let you into the shop to see for yourself. Another mechanic brings you into their garage, shows you the worn out part, explains why it failed, and even teaches you how to spot the problem yourself. Now, which one would you trust? That's the difference transparency makes in our community. When transparency trust is weak, residents rely on Facebook rumors instead of city updates. Confusion spreads about where tax dollars are going. And when people don't know, they assume the worst. But when transparency trust is strong, citizens feel informed and empowered. Misinformation has less room to spread, debates are grounded in real facts, not speculation. People may still disagree, but at least they're disagreeing on the same set of realities. So how do we build transparency trust? Well, the solution is visibility. Decisions, budgets, and plans must be easy to see. Visibility only works when it's paired with clarity, so residents can actually understand what they're seeing. Visibility with clarity is what turns suspicion into confidence. Responsiveness trust asks, do you believe the city listens and responds when you speak up? Think about sending an email or making a call. If no one responds, you forget or stop trying. When responsiveness trust is weak, residents feel ignored on complaints about deteriorating infrastructure. Calls about code enforcement go unanswered. People start saying City Hall is tone deaf. But when responsiveness trust is strong, neighborhoods feel heard. Residents partner with the city to solve problems, and satisfaction rises because people see their concerns addressed. So how do you build that responsiveness trust? Well, the answer is simple: by responding. Sometimes the most powerful way to rebuild trust is the simplest: just respond. I promised earlier that I'd talk about silence. On the surface, a quiet community can look like a trusting community. No protests, no angry emails, no packed council chambers. But here's the truth. Silence can mean three very different things. First, silence actually can be trust. People feel confident enough in their city that they can focus on their daily lives without worry. They believe the basics are handled, so they don't need to micromanage. Second, silence can be apathy. People have tuned out because they don't believe their voice matters. They've lowered their expectations so far that they don't even bother to engage. And third, silence can simply be unawareness. Some residents have never been engaged at all. City government just hasn't been on their radar. They're busy with the work, family, and life, and they've never thought about showing up. It's not a compliment or a warning, but it is an opportunity, because the first time those residents do engage, their experience will shape whether they lean towards trust or apathy in the future. As leaders, it's our job to tell the difference and to make sure that people are quiet because they trust us, not because they're giving up and they've never been invited in. And this means we have to be checking in, measuring satisfaction, creating easy ways to engage with them. Because the absence of noise isn't enough. We need the presence of confidence. Rebuilding trust isn't about slogans. It's about delivering ethics, consistency, visibility, responding, and making sure silence means confidence. Now, let me be clear about where I believe we are as a city. This is not a message of doubt or criticism. In fact, in some areas, competence being one of them, I think we do quite well. We have talented staff. Projects get done, and the city continues to grow and thrive. My goal is not to spread a sentiment of distrust. What I see is an opportunity to take what we already do well and build on it. Because while trust isn't broken beyond repair, I believe we're missing out on the full benefits that can come when trust is strong.